Let's all take a minute to completely hate Texas Boy because he's making me do this review. Now, I said on Twitter I was going to do this review very early in the pay-per-view. Throughout the pay-per-view, I was sort of changing my mind. But then Texas told me, he spread the word, let people know that I was going to be doing reviews to personal people in his life. I can't let people down. What's up, guys? I'm here to review WWE Extreme Rules 2015. Man, what can I say about this review? I'm going to go match by match. I'm going to tell you guys my match of the night. It may surprise some people, and it probably won't. I don't know. First things first, let's start off the kickoff match, the pre-show match, which I believe was an awesome showing for Adrian Neville, or what WWE wants to call him today, Neville. He took on Bad News Barrett. I believe that this match showcased Neville very well. It was his very first pay-per-view, mainstream pay-per-view. It was his chance to really show out, and he did just that. His selling at times is a bit overboard. And when I say overboard, I don't mean like he just be hopping and flopping all over the place. But just his facial reactions is like he sells death. But then a second later, once he's back into action, it's like nothing has ever happened. So I would like to see more of an old school selling when it comes to Neville, especially since he's a small guy. Don't just sell your facial expressions. You gotta... I'm saying this as if I'm running a show, but I would like to see him more so sell the feeling, sell the hurt, throughout the match. Hold the elbow, hold the rib, slow down a little bit, show that fatigue is setting in and things like that. But other than that, this guy is spectacular, and he did his thing. Wade Barrett did a really good job at putting him over. Wade Barrett got his stuff over as well, but Adrian Neville, man, first they teased the Red Arrow, and Wade Barrett went for his, what does he call it, the bullhorn or the bull hammer? There we go. He went for the bull hammer on the apron, and Neville just raised up because Adrian Neville was already on top turnbuckle because he went for the Red Arrow. Bad News Barrett. Why am I calling him Bad News Barrett? Wade Barrett kind of knocked him down off the top turnbuckle, so his legs are spread on each side of the buckle. And then he went for the bull hammer. Neville dodged it, hit him with another kick, went back up top, took his time, and then he hit the Red Arrow. That thing is it's a thing of beauty when he hits it, man. It's crazy. So the very next match, which was the very first match of the pay-per-view, we had Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper in a Chicago street fight. And the match started off pretty good. It was okay. It was good. It was borderline good. Okay. We at first didn't see anything outside of the norm with what WWE does with these, and I'm air quoting right now, street fight matches. The last time we saw like a really good street fight match, I believe, was Jericho versus CM Punk in Chicago. Was it in Chicago? No, it was at a WrestleMania. They had Chicago like not too long after that. But yeah, it was a street fight match with those two. That was a good one because they really pulled out the stops. I believe there was a stop sign involved as well. Freaking fire extinguisher and such. This match, not as much, but you can tell that they really tried to push the envelope as far as they could. The semi-finish came when we saw these guys battling to the back, battling through the backstage area, into a truck, and then they drove off. And the very first thing I'm thinking in my head is Goldust and Roddy Piper. We're going to get a high-speed chase in a Bronco. Well, it probably wasn't a Bronco truck. I don't know what kind of truck they were driving, but I was thinking that we were going to get something like that, where they're brawling out in the street or in the back parking lot with, dumpsters and stuff like that. But we didn't get none of that. They just drove off. They just legit just drove off. I don't think they came back for another almost hour. So I'm like, okay, maybe when they're returning, maybe they'll show something that happened on the outside. No. So we'll get back to that. They left, so I'm going to leave that match too. Ziggler versus Sheamus in a Kiss My Arse match. So my guess is this is WWE's way of PGing the word ass, but it's still kiss my arse. I mean, is it okay? Like, they don't want kids to say kiss my ass, but does that mean that it's okay to say kiss my arse? I'm a little confused on that one. Just go on ahead with kiss my ass. Match was decent. I'm one of those guys, and hey, don't like the video for this one, but I'm just one of those guys. I'm not really behind Ziggler. I'm just not. I prefer a heel Ziggler. The Ziggler we have right now, it just isn't giving me anything to be behind. Like, he sells well, but what the fuck else does he do? I don't know. Sheamus was pretty good in this match, getting some really good heel heat, talking crap while pounding Ziggler throughout this match. And Ziggler's doing what he does, which is sell, which is what he just always does. Whatever. Okay. The finish came on, I believe, a roll-up, which Sheamus lost to. Roll-up. And we get into the whole, hey, kiss my ass. This was your idea of a match, not mine. So you got to kiss my bottom. So instead of just pulling down his trousers, he lifted up a cheek. He lifted up a part of it so you can get his cheek. Fucking PG, man. It just doesn't work. Like, I remember the days of Vince McMahon just pulling down, like undoing his belt, pulling down his pants, and you can see that, like, he had the Sheamus colored ass and a really, really nice tan on his back. Like, you can see the, I don't know, like, it's so watered down. It takes away from the joke of it and what makes it funny. It takes away from that, but you know, Sheamus tried several times to just get away, but you know, like, hey, you gotta kiss his arse. Fucking arse. The hell is an arse? So they tease and they tease and they tease until Sheamus pretty much just fucking kicks the shit out of him. Says he's not kissing anybody's ass. Gets on the mic. Asks the people, are they entertained? He looks like he fits that category. That scene, that type of movie, that whole gladiator thing. I like it. I like it because he has the look for it, even though his mohawk was out of control at this point. And he pulled out a butt cheek and made Ziggler kiss it. His arse. His arse cheek. His arse cheek. That's what they're calling it. Next, we had what a lot of people say was match of the night. And it was one of my matches of the night. New Day versus Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. This match was awesome. It was a really, really good match. Really good heel heat for New Day. I mean, they are oozing heat. Nobody's getting showered in hatred as much as New Day. It's insane how much heel heat they're getting and how well they're working it. They are working the hell out of that heel heat. Kidd and Cesaro, on the other hand, their babyface reaction in Chicago, my God. Let me look at this card. Outside of Neville, I'm just double checking. Outside of Neville, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro had like the best babyface reactions. You know what? I'm going to even say above Neville as well. And I'm going to say by far. Tyson Kidd and Cesaro had the crowd loving them. As far as moves and setups and spots and things like that, it's pretty much what you would expect. A lot of good double team moves. And the finish came... What was the finish? Hell, I don't... Was it a roll-up? I believe it was a roll. Was it? I don't remember. Who cares? Just know that New Day won. Because all right, I remember how the finish came. Guys were going for, you know what? Fuck all that. Let's talk about what this does for the tag team division, or what it could do, because WWE is 9 times out of 10 going to screw it up going forward. What this does for the tag team division is it sets up a legitimate heel tag team where it's like, all right, these are the predominant heels. You know who's the heels. You know who it is that you have to chase. You know who it is that's the obstacle. And then it sets you up your big babyface group that the crowd is completely behind, which is Cesaro and Kidd. Now, did they have that with the Usos? I don't necessarily think that. I don't think so. I don't think that the Usos had as much babyface reaction as Tyson, Kidd, and Cesaro. I don't believe it. Like, ever. I don't think they had it. Like, these guys are legitimately over. And people have been waiting for Cesaro to be babyface. And here it is. Here it is. Then you also got the Lucha Dragons. Who I think might be... I don't know. It's going to be tough. If we could get... somewhere soon down the line, if we could get a triple threat tag team match between New Day, Lucha Dragons, Kidd and Cesaro, it's going to blow the roof off of whatever place they're in. Whatever place gets that match is going to be lucky, because that's going to be great. So we have our, air quoting again, young tag team, our young hungry tag team that's supposed to be fighting up the chain to get to that position to grab those titles. We have the babyface tag team that people are behind, that wants them, that you want them to win. And then you have your heels that are going to find whatever way that they possibly can to win and keep the titles. I think it's set up pretty well. We just need more tag teams as of right now. We just need more tag teams. Up next, well, not necessarily up next. And this was funny. This was really, really funny. We get a backstage segment with New Day and they're celebrating backstage. And Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper come back. The truck pulls back up. Luke Harper gets thrown out of the truck. And Xavier Woods just is standing over Luke Harper and points at him and laughs and says, "You still getting beat up?" Like, it was hilarious. Just said that and they just walked off with the titles. Then they took it to the ring. Threw a whole bunch of chairs in the ring, a la Cactus Jack and Terry Funk. Just not nearly as much. Probably not even a third of as many chairs as they threw in the ring. But they threw enough in there to get their points across. And their points was, we can throw chairs in the ring. That's pretty much it. You didn't really get much action with the chairs. You got like a chair shot to the back, I believe. The finish didn't even have a chair. Like, didn't even involve the chairs. The only time the chairs were used was Dean took a spill on the chairs. I believe off like a clothesline or something. I don't know. Something small. Don't fault me. I don't remember that freaking far back into the pay-per-view. I'm old. I got Alzheimer's. Then we have Luke Harper up on the top rope, which we saw Dean slam him from the top rope, try to get to the chairs. Got a couple of the chairs, not the bulk of them. And then Dirty Deeds, with the chair spread. So the chairs wasn't there when he caught the Dirty Deeds, and that pretty much ended it. What I think of the match, I think they really John Lued it. They really messed this one up because they had a chance to make it epic by just showing them on the outside. That's all you have to do. When these guys first left, the crowd was pissed. They were booing because when they left, they went to a backstage segment with the Authority telling Kane to go get those guys and bring them back. Kane never went to go get those guys or bring them back. So what was the point of that segment? I have no idea. And the crowd just didn't like it because they just don't really care for the Authority. No one does. So, we got like a big old pause break in which I believe that they thought that the tag team match wouldn't deliver on the crowd. So I figure they put Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper, they brought them back during that time, just in case they needed the crowd to get hot for the next match, which is Cena and Rusev, which I'll get to in a second. But I think that overall that match under-delivered. There's a lot more that they could have done, especially with these two and their CCW background. They could have done a lot more, and they just didn't. But Dean Ambrose did get his first singles pay-per-view win in a very, very, very long time. So, Cena and Rusev Four Corners match. I'm not calling this a Russian chain match. Fuck that. It's a Four Corners match. Fuck this match. Say that? Say that? Fuck this match? It's after dark. I could say that. Fuck this match. It was slow. It was slow. It was by far the worst of their 3 matches. I believe that their first match at Fastlane was really good. Rusev won that one. I believe their match at WrestleMania, I thought it was pretty good. Some people didn't like it. I liked it. I hated the finish. And this one was just slow. And they did nothing with how brutal this match could be. Usually it's a leather strap match where the guys are using a leather strap instead of a chain. Sometimes they use a chain, but it's usually a leather strap match where they go do all the 4 corners. And when you see those matches, guys are getting beaten with those straps. They're getting choked out with those straps. They're getting hogtied and dragged around the ring with those straps. We didn't get any of that. At best, we got Rusev sort of kind of getting Cena tied up in the ropes with the chains. Or one time he gave him a little whipping, just a little bit. He gave him a little taste. Other than that, we got nothing. This match stunk because of that. And the crowd is chanting, "We want Lana, we want Lana." Lana gets up on the ring apron. Rusev tells her to get the fuck out of here. She gets the fuck out of there reluctantly. And I thought there was going to be a finish right there, but there wasn't. Rusev still got his stuff off a little bit. And the finish came where, they're each touching different corners. Both of them got 3 corners touched. They do a little, not a tug of war in the middle of the ring when they both realize that the last corner needs to be touched by both of them. And they're doing a standoff, each holding a chain. And not Rusev, but Cena pulls in the chain, gives him an AA, touches the last corner, in the end. Fuck that match. It sucked dick. Next match. Naomi, my favorite diva, versus Nikki Bella. Alright. Couple of things wrong here. From the door. First, Nikki's hair. What the fuck was that? Like, since when does her hair come down to like her knees or the back of her knees? Like, what kind of extensions? I'm not a female and I don't necessarily pay attention to shit like that, but what the fuck? Why is her, like, she looked like Super Saiyan Goku 4. Like, why was her hair that long? That made no sense. It's not supposed to make sense, but that was just a little overkill. And you could clearly see, this has nothing to do with the match. I can't believe I'm here talking about hair. But you could see where her hair ends and where her extensions are. Maybe I've paid attention to females talk about that too much. But that bothered me because her hair was dragging on the floor. It was ridiculous. And then Naomi. Oh, boy. The curls, that gotta go. Why am I talking about females' hair again? Well, anyway, her hair has to go. Then that shit music, that theme music she got, I'm awesome, whatever that's also gotta go. Yeah, it's gotta go. I know it's supposed to be like a little conceited heel gimmick that they have her doing now. It doesn't work. Last but not least, them fucking shades. I don't mind the sneakers. I thought those was pretty cool. Them shades was a bruh moment. What the? Shades was abysmal. Them shades just screamed, "I'm a dick." She had some dick shades. And I don't know if it's because she's wearing black or she's losing weight, but it seems like her ass is going away. Like, does she have an inflatable ass that's now going away? Did she forget to inflate her ass? Or maybe it's black. Black does make things look smaller, so I'm gonna say this because she was wearing black. The match. Let's talk about the match a little bit. I didn't mind the match at all. I thought it was a pretty good match, especially with how I'm air quoting again, sloppy Naomi has been in her matches lately. I think that she's just trying to find herself because she's used to working a babyface role. And once you start working a heel role, your moveset changes a little bit. Your demeanor changes. The way you carry yourself in the ring, your timing, everything changes. And she's been babyface her entire run in the WWE. It's been years now. And she's been babyface. So, working a heel role, she had to, kind of get used to it. Thing that threw me off about this match is Brie Bella on the outside clapping, trying to get the crowd behind me. But I'm thinking to myself, weren't you Horace heels just in the last pay-per-view? Why should the crowd clap to get behind you? This needs to be explained, and WWE isn't telling me anything about it. So we have that, and we have Naomi. See, I don't want to say she's working heelish. I call it more so working aggressively. Still with her spunk and her athleticism behind it, which I think she did pretty good at pulling off and combining the two, being aggressive and athletic at the same time. But I do want to say that it feels as though she's been studying some Jacqueline film lately. And if you were around during Attitude Era, like during like the heyday of the Attitude Era, and you watch the Divas have their fatal four ways with like not Nikki, oh my god, that's blasphemous. Trish, Lita, Jacqueline, and Jazz. Her demeanor is like, at first I was thinking Jazz, but more so Jacqueline, because Jacqueline was boisterous with it, which Nikki is. Not Nikki, I keep saying Nikki, Naomi, which Naomi is. She's pretty boisterous with it, the way she walks, the way she carries herself now. It's as if she's been watching a lot of Jacqueline. I can't say Jazz because Jazz was just a straight up freaking powerhouse, and she ain't played no games. By the way, I'm not missing out on Molly Holly. Molly Holly was pretty good during those days too. But if you guys don't know who Jacqueline is, check her out on YouTube. Check out her stuff during the Attitude Era. You will see exactly how Naomi was acting tonight. So Nikki won with the rack attack after Brie Bella kicks Naomi in the face when she's hanging on the ropes. It was a match that Naomi dominated pretty much, but I thought it was a pretty good match. And here we go. Last two matches of the night. We have Roman Reigns versus Big Show, and I want to say tonight Chicago was definitely behind Roman Reigns. Normally it's about 40-60 booing him. Tonight, and it's been progressively getting better, which I'm glad is getting better. It was about 90-10 pro Roman Reigns, and it made for a good match because they were behind it at the right times. Now, I want to say this match was slow. This was a very, very slow match, but it got my match of the night. It's weird, right? It's weird how that works. How do you have a slow match, but you're still match of the night? I just think that these guys, outside of Big Show's ring talking, which, oh my God, you get hit. Like, they're in Chicago. I heard them here in Jersey. Big Show is loud. He's calling all the spots. But if you just ignore that and just look at the storytelling that they had in this match, and you look at the execution, how all the spots were set up, execution of that, the selling by both of these guys in the match, it overachieved. These guys knocked it out of the park in comparison to what we thought we were going to get. We thought that this was going to be the piss break match. We thought this was going to be the match that everybody was going to boo out the building. We thought that this was going to be a match that was just going to stink and nobody was going to care about it. And it was the complete opposite. These two guys delivered. Everything they did was spot on and on point. Maybe they practiced that match 100 times. Who knows? But, everything with the tables. And you got Big Show in the beginning of the match. Every time Roman Reigns pulls out a weapon, Big Show either puts the weapon away or breaks the weapon. He's like, I'm a giant. I don't need weapons. You're a small guy. You're going to need everything you can have to beat me. And I like what they were telling with that. And then we get to a point where Roman Reigns was a bit much for Big Show. And now he's not necessarily breaking the weapons, but he's kind of using the weapons. They're both using the weapons. They're both getting their stuff off. Big Show's looking strong. Roman Reigns is looking strong. Then we get the spots with the stairs and, the OMG WWE 2K13 moment where you send them through the barricade. And we've seen that countless times, especially with Roman Reigns. So I didn't really care about that one. We've seen it too much. The double table spot where Roman Reigns set up the tables on the outside, 2 of them. And we thought that maybe we would get a suplex because Big Show was on the top turnbuckle. And I was thinking, man, are we going to get a superplex from Roman Reigns to Big Show to the outside? But then when I seen Roman Reigns go through them tables, I figured, like, okay, I get it. Big Show ain't taking that damn bump. Are you fucking crazy? He'll fucking die. He's not taking that bump. It's not happening. So, okay, that's cool. I'll let that slide. He got chokeslammed through both of the tables. And he sold it. Got up at the count of 9. When he got up, he fell back down so he could get so the ref could count some more. Then he hit the spot on Big Show a little bit, and then he went back down so that he could keep. He kept selling everything Big Show did. Big Show took out his ribs during the match. He held them ribs throughout the rest of the match. Roman Reigns sold the hell out of that match. Did a damn good job selling. And even in victory, when he first got the victory, he was still selling a bit. The finish came, I like the finish, but I don't like the finish. Because the finish came where, they did the OMG moment with the barricade. The stairs are set up right next to the announce table. Everybody's cool, right? Stairs set up next to the announce table. Roman Reigns goes to run up the stairs. Big Show's standing up at this point. Roman Reigns goes to run up the stairs to get a Superman punch off. Big Show catches him by the throat, pushes him off, and I believe Big Show is now he got him by the neck, and they were both up on the announce table as if he was going to choke slam him to the floor. Reigns gets out of that, goes for the spear while Big Show is standing on the announce table. Goes for the spear, spears him through the other table. That should have been the end. That should have been the end. But nope. WWE, in all their wisdom, wanted the standing tall moment. The standing tall, pose for the pictures Roman Reigns moment. So, Big Show gets up at 8. Roman Reigns, I don't even think he hit a move on him. Hit a move on him. He just pushed the other announce table over on Big Show and stood on it, and that was your 10 count. Again, I don't care for that last spot. It was unnecessary. Other than that, that was my match of the night because these guys took their time and they did everything right. And last but not least, we don't have last but not least. We had Ryback and Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas came in and undressed the hell out of that Chicago crowd. Absolutely shit on them. It was bad. Roman Reigns comes out, does his shit, and gets out of there. I thought that we were going to see a Bray Wyatt moment there, where Bray probably, cut the lights off on him while he was about to go for the shell shock, but we didn't get none of that. Ryback just went back to the back. Big deal. Then we had the steel cage match. This match completely under-delivered. Once again, there was another struggle with Kane and his mental capabilities and how he feels about the whole Seth Rollins situation. It's pretty much what you thought would happen. As far as the match, it felt like Randy Orton was wrestling a broomstick. Seth Rollins, his whole motive was to just escape, not necessarily really wrestle, which he didn't do. Which I get, but damn, can we get some wrestling from you? We didn't really get much of that. He only was trying to escape. If he wasn't trying to escape, he was just getting his ass kicked. It's just that simple. Randy Orton did damn good in this match. If they're trying to get Randy over as a babyface, they're doing a hell of a job because he did really good here. As far as his execution of everything, but it doesn't work when you have an athletic Seth Rollins just doing nothing for the majority of the match, but selling. That's pretty much all he was doing. The end came when Randy Orton is ready to leave. Kane won't let him out. Orton's arguing with him. Seth Rollins goes for a kick. He kicks the gate, knocks over Kane. Kane gets up. He's pissed off. He goes in the ring and... you know what happens. Chokeslam to Orton. Chokeslam to Seth. I don't know. Fucking Orton gets back up. It's exactly what you think is going to happen. Anyway, the finish was Randy Orton RKO and Kane. Seth, in turn, SROs Randy Orton. That doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. He RKOs Randy Orton, and then he gets out of the cage. The end. So, I have 2 matches, not including the pre-show match, but I have 2 matches that were really, really good matches. Definite match of the nights. I give my match of the night to Roman Reigns and Big Show because they completely overachieved. New Day versus Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. We knew what we were going to get from them. We knew it was going to be a really good match. And they delivered. They delivered. The story was told. I'll definitely give them that. But I think it's really the fact that we expected the absolute worst out of Roman Reigns and Big Show, and they did a damn good job. And my honorable mention goes to Neville and Bad News Barrett. That was a pretty good match to kick off the show. All right. If I would have to rate this pay-per-view in whole, it did a little better than I would have thought it was. But overall, I would say it's just okay. Star system, not really worth it. Would you go out of your way to see this pay-per-view? Just those 3 matches. Those 3 matches are must-see matches. Everything else is pretty much what you thought it would be. So, hope you guys enjoyed. That's all I got for this one. Please leave a like on the video. It helps a lot. And hopefully, I will see you guys for the next pay-per-view.